25 minutes before the hour, and we're about a week out now from the announcement that the Coosa Pines Mill was closing in May. Joining us this morning is State Representative District 33, Ben Robbins. Ben, good morning, and it's not good news for us, but good morning to you.
Good morning to you. No, it's not good news, but thank you for having me and giving me an opportunity to talk about the mill closing and some other things happening around the county.
It kind of took everybody off guard, didn't it?
It took everybody by surprise. I mean, that day I got a call from the corporate office for Domtar, because now Domtar purchased Resolute last year. So, I mean, it hasn't been Domtar for long. I got a call from the corporate office that day, and they said, we'll be informing employees in, just an hour. So they didn't give us much time to even say, is there something we could do to keep you? I think there was a decision made from up high that there's nothing we could have done. I wish we'd had more time and more knowledge on a government side that maybe there is something we could have done, but I think it caught most everybody by surprise. 280
families, employees losing their jobs in May. That's a tough deal.
It's a tough deal, and we were talking before, it's not just the 285 employees, it's their families, but it's also the example you use, like the person that cleans, it's the logger, it's the truck driver, it's all the people that service, sell, and do work out at the paper mill that are contract employees. So it's beyond 285 people. This will have a ripple effect across the whole region, because not only that, but we're talking about that, whether it's the chip mill or the paper mill, they're relying upon trees. All of a sudden, if you get the largest buyer of trees to just go away, the value of trees goes down. So even all the landowners around here, the value of their land is going to go down. But that doesn't mean that we're not responding and we're not working towards answering some of these big problems.
Well, let's face it, we didn't have a blueprint for this.
Right. I mean, I'd say we didn't, but we did have in our region the loss of textile mills, and the paper mill has been declining in size over the years. So whether it be Avondale or whether it be any other textile mills across this whole region or Russell, we have seen what we did then and what we didn't do and what were some failures that we had. And so quickly, the next day, so that was Tuesday that we heard. Wednesday, we had a meeting with the Childersburg Chamber, Sylacauga Chamber, Talladega County Chamber, SAFE, and the state, and we all talked about a plan on how to move forward. And the first solution is obviously, you've got to put a Band-Aid on the problem. The Band-Aid is you have 285 people that are going to now be unemployed by May, or prior to May if they finish their task at work sooner. So the first thing is we need to get people jobs. We need to find those jobs. And people might not realize, but at that industrial park in Childersburg, it is growing. Cooper Steel is going to be adding 100 jobs before the end of the year. Granted, that's not right now. Remco is hiring. They do work on transformers. They take them apart and put them back together, improve them. And you also have ARC, which is a robotics company, and Blair Block, all at the Childersburg Industrial Park. So since I've been elected, that industrial park's added about 300 jobs. And so there's about another 100 to 150 that will be coming online this year. So granted, that doesn't fill the gap, but what we've talked about doing and what we've communicated with Domtar is there's going to be a hiring fair just for Domtar employees, and it's going to take place at the paper mill. We're still working through the location because you're still working. If you're working at Domtar now, or you're the spouse of an employee, you're still working, so you can't just take off and go drive to the Limbaugh Community Center for a hiring fair. So we wanted to bring it to you, and all three chambers have already communicated with everyone, or communicated with the Lake Martin Economic Development Authority all the way to the Calhoun County Chamber of Commerce on employers. Right now we have 34 employers that have signed up to participate in the hiring fair. But what I talked about in the meeting was this isn't just hiring fair. It needs to be a full wraparound service for everybody that's there, because what's going to happen is people that have had jobs for whether it be 1 year or 20 years weren't prepared or understood how to file for unemployment. We're going to need a location at the hiring fair for actual employment on how to get hired. We're going to need a location where families can go. The families, not just the employees, can go, because the families are going to need to hear some of this information too on how to apply for certain benefits. And that's where SAFE is going to be important, because they'll be able to provide services to you. And the goal is to do that in an area that's, imagine an open space where you can walk booth to booth for the jobs, but you can go into a separate room and understand that if I take this job and it does pay less, how do I manage that and what benefits are available
and
for
these are not minimal jobs. These are high-paying jobs.
These are the highest paying jobs in the county. So it's going to be a hit in the short term. And I don't like to mince words and say that everything's going to be rosy immediately. But that's why we want to have services there. And then also we've talked with First Bank of Alabama, Coosa Pines, and Heritage South on having another space for financial literacy and how to help you through what could be a financially difficult time. And I know that if you have loans through those, and I know we've talked with First Bank of Alabama and Heritage South, that if you have loans through those financial institutions, and I know someone's speaking with Coosa Pines about how to restructure those loans or get you into a better price point so you're not paying what you were paying before with a higher wage. And there's no guarantee that you might lose a wage. I mean, Cooper Steel pays a really good wage, and Cooper Steel's 100% air conditioning. They're fabricating steel in AC. So, and what we're also going to have is between SAFE and AIDT with the state is going to be some of a period of job training. If, let's say, you do want to work at Cooper Steel, but you've never fabricated steel and don't have any steel working experience, we can get you that training to then go work there. So you'll have the skill set to work there. And part of what SAFE offers that we have through state funding is hopefully we can fit this in here, but it's a pay to learn model. So you wouldn't be training and not getting paid. Right. You can still get paid while you're training. It wouldn't be the same wage you were making, but working by having that relationship with the financial institutions, we'll be able to work through any loan issues or payment problems that you might have while you're training to then get back into another high wage job. And we want to keep all those local as possible. I know we've talked, like I said, to Calhoun County and to Tallapoosa County, but we love to keep people in Talladega County, and I know that there are jobs available, and we're going to help you through that transition.
I know of one family that an individual worked there about a year. They'd bought a house, they'd bought a car. A lot of these individuals who work out there have worked there a long time, and they have great work ethic, so somebody's going to get some great employees.
Somebody will get some great employees, and everybody, I mean, you can't talk to anybody that doesn't say they would like to have a good maintenance guy, they'd like to have somebody that just knows how machines operate and work. And there's going to be some great employees from the paper mill. One thing that surprised me is the large number of employees that are in their 20s and 30s that work there. Usually we think, that it would be mostly people closer to retirement, and what I was told is maybe there's only 20 to 30.
A lot of them are already retired.
Right, yeah. 20 or 30 that were at retirement age and might just retire. And so that, if let's say it's 30, that still leaves you 250 people. And those people that are retired obviously still wanted to work. So I'd love to keep everybody working that wants to continue to work. And we don't have a date set yet for the hiring fair. We're working through that with Domtar, the ownership, on what would be a good day. But we already have, like I said, interest from 34 companies, was the last I was told, and so that could be more. And the Childersburg Chamber, and all the chambers are working really hard. I think it's a testament to the county on how much everyone understands the employees of Domtar, Resolute, Bowater, Kimberly-Clark, all that's been throughout the years, how much you mean to us and how much you mean to our community. But we all know that we will bounce back, and we've learned lessons from previous closures on how to do it better, and that's to make sure that you, the employee, and the family understand that you matter, and we want to connect you with a job. And we're going to continue these conversations throughout for the rest of your lives, really.
State Representative District 33 Ben Robbins joins us this morning, about a quarter till the top of the hour. And when you first were contacted about the closing, what were your first thoughts?
It felt like a gut punch,
Yeah.
because I felt like we were moving in a very positive direction, and it felt like a huge gut punch, not just for the whole region. And I knew what that mill meant from having family members that work there. From you can't live in any part of Talladega County and not understand the impact that it's had on Childersburg and on the entire county, because people work at that mill from every corner of the county, and they take that paycheck back to Lincoln, or they take it to Sylacauga, and then they buy groceries and pay on a mortgage, and they live off of that check that's generated and created at the paper mill. So you can't live in this county and not understand its economic impact. I do know that in the long run, it'll be a gut punch, but we're tough and we're resilient people.
Yeah, I was about to say
we can take a punch and we can punch back.
Yeah.
And I think that's a testament to who we are, is that we don't give up. I think that we've been knocked down several times in our past, but we have a plan now on how to get back up and get back up as soon as possible. And we're not going to allow this, in terms of elected officials, we're not going to allow this to define us. We're going to say that we are still open for business. We're going to attract new industry here. Like I said, we've already added, and since I've been elected, about 200 to 300 jobs in the Childersburg Industrial Park. It's been slow growth. It's not been big ribbon cuttings. It's been 25 here or 50 here, which is a good number of employees. But there was a ribbon cutting at Cooper Steel as they plan a major expansion. But we're going to do that, and we're going to continue to grow. And we're going to, at the same time, we're going to grow, and we're going to grow and have more jobs, more opportunities. But we're going to focus on you and the families on the back end. So we make sure that we grow, but when we grow, everybody's growing with us. And we're not going to be so focused on if the paper mill or Avondale closes, everything is gone. We're going to grow, and we're going to grow smartly, and we're going to grow diverse.
Yeah, when Avondale closed, it was like almost a death sentence to begin with. But we see what's happening on that properties now, and we see in the long run with Talladega County, what has impressed me is everybody's rallying together. You know, we're on the same page here.
Everybody is. Like I mentioned, that you've got Talladega, Childersburg, Sylacauga, Chambers all working together. I think in the past you wouldn't have seen that. Now, being on the call in the meeting, that the Talladega Chamber was already saying, "Oh, I've already communicated with Georgia Pacific," and having the woodwork, in the wood industry, they're hiring and they will hire. And some people might not know this, but in Coosa County, at the Kellyton Industrial Park, there's a plant called Two Rivers being built. It's going to be a large sawmill that's going to employ several hundred people. I'm not sure what their wage is, and it is projected to be online and operational this year, probably in the third to fourth quarter of this year. So there would be a little bit of an interim, but if you've got experience working at a paper mill, a pulp mill, in the wood products industry, there will be the Georgia Pacific is hiring now, and a large sawmill coming online in Coosa County. So there might be enough jobs just in the wood industry for all the employees at Domtar. However, some of those jobs are, like as you said, maintenance and mechanical. They can work at other plants and hopefully get a similar wage, and that's the goal. But we are bringing new industry in, and we're going to try to offset those losses. And the sawmill in Coosa County is going to be a gigantic boon to the entire region. I wish that Domtar was still available and open, and that the sawmill was, because then the price of trees would just go up exponentially. But instead, what's going to happen is the price of trees are going to stay pretty much stagnant, because now the buyer that was in Childersburg is now being offset in Coosa County, so the supply and demand will stay about the same. but there will be opportunities and we are going to grow. And I don't think this is going to be a death sentence to us. It's tough, it's sad, but we're responding, and we're responding regionally on growth. We're responding on the Band-Aid of getting you employment, and we're responding on connecting the employers with the employees and finding pathways to help give that backstop, like I was talking with the benefits that you might need, because, and don't be too proud to say, for this short period of time, I need help filling out this paperwork. And that's what SAFE is going to be on site at the hiring fairs to help you and your families understand that this is interim and this will help you be a bridge to your next chapter. And your next chapter will be better and brighter than the one you have now. But right now, for you, the employee and the family, it seems dark and it seems as if there isn't a brighter day ahead. But I promise you, we are working tirelessly to give you that brighter day. And a brighter day not just for you, but for all of Talladega County, Coosa County, and the entire region of East Alabama.
And one thing before we go, this is what we haven't touched on really is the emotional aspect of it. You know, you've had a job there for 10, 20 years, and all of a sudden you don't have a job. That can work on your psyche, you know?
It can work on your psyche. It definitely can. And that's why I said that it seems dark right now. It might seem bleak because something that, you know, a job identifies who you are. Yeah. You know, in America, we work. I actually talked to somebody not that long ago that's from Argentina, and he said, you know, the one thing about Americans is they always ask, what do you do for work? What do you do for a living? He said, you know, we like to just, you know. That's
a connecting point.
Right, let's just, you know, hang out, let's talk. And he said, that's why we can't sometimes make it in your country. And so that's how you identify, this is my job, this is who I am. And it seems like the rug has been pulled out from under you. And it'll be dark, you'll have some soul searching and, you know, who am I, all these questions. And it seems, and then you have how am I going to pay these bills? What's my future hold? Which is a scary thought. It's a terrifying thought. But I just want you to know that through those questions, through those fears, we're here for you. I've had numerous conversations with SAFE on how to provide services and with the state on how to provide services to you. All that's going to take is filling out paperwork and talking to individuals and reaching out to me, and I'll connect you with those services, because there is hope for you, and tomorrow will be a brighter day, and it'll be a brighter day not just for y'all, but for everybody in this region. And the legislative session is ongoing as well, right? It is ongoing. It's ongoing, and we've already passed in the House the education budget, and we're going to vote on and pass the general fund budget this week. All right. We appreciate you coming by, Ben. I know you get busy, but thanks for enlightening us. And for people who need more information on the job fair, where do they need to go? You can reach out to me, reach out to the Sylacauga Chamber, the Childersburg Chamber, the Talladega Chamber, reach out to any of them, or reach out to Domtar directly, but it'd probably be better to reach out to me or the chambers, as we're kind of running point. And specifically, I just want to say one thing real fast. The chambers, Donnie Miller in Talladega, Laura Strickland in Sylacauga, and John Mark Freeman in Childersburg are doing a phenomenal job. And John Mark is running point on a lot of these meetings, and he's doing a phenomenal job, and he's being thrown to the fire, and everyone is, but we're all rallying together, and I just want to thank everybody for all of their work. All right, Ben, thanks for dropping by, and have a great week. Thank you. District 33 State Representative Ben Robbins, our guest this morning, 6 minutes before the hour, 57 degrees. Thanks for watching Daybreak Live. We'll see you again tomorrow.